Happy 2021 to you. We're going to start with a project that allows us to get the numbers to interact with the character, in this case a cat, and try to get you to come up with your own ideas. So I'm going to do a simple example and then it'll be over to you to think of some creative ideas. So let's have a little look. So first of all, we got these numbers by clicking down the bottom. The second one to the right is a little cat, and then I'm going to click on it twice, and then I wanted the number 2, so I just typed 2 in. And then you can see I get the number 2 there. So if I wanted 3, I'll just put a 3 in there. And you can see it comes up. The reason other things come up is you can see the file names include the number 3. So let's just click on the 3 and you can see that there's a 3. So I don't actually want the 3, so I'm going to click on the bin. So I've got the numbers I want. I can move them around. I can space them out. And then I've got a cat here. And I thought what I could try and do is to get the cat maybe to sort of jump around on top of the numbers, or even get the numbers to perhaps move around. So let's start with the number 2 there. So I did a little bit of programming before you joined me. So I needed a yellow one. So when I start the program, I want the number 2 to go to the top of the screen. So that's quite interesting. Then I want it to come down to the correct place. Can you see? Now, one thing I might want to do is actually to make it hide as it goes up so that you don't see it going up. So what we'll do is we'll get it to hide at the beginning. So it actually hides as it goes to the top of the screen. It's hidden, and then we'll get it to show as it comes down. So that's going to be a bit more professional. There we are. So it looks as if it's going to drop into the right place. So just to make sure you understand that, let's do the same thing with the number 1. So this takes it to the right, and then I want it to move to the left. Now, it's quite easy. If I just drag this to the left, it will get rid of it. So I can put the number where I want it, and then I go to one of the blue ones, which is called a glide. And then you can see that these are called coordinates, and basically they're different because obviously the position of the number 1 there is different to the position of the number 1 there. Now these numbers can be changed, so you can manually type this in. So say I want that, it's about 166. So say I want it to be 170, I can actually put that in there. And then what I could do is I could say that could be 230. So it just, for young children, it simplifies it. And if you want it to move exactly on a particular axis, you'd have to make those the same. So I'll just make that -80, and then that'll be -80. So it's really worth just telling to the children that they can simplify these numbers. So let's just test this. Now we've got to debug it, so that means we've got to make it better, get rid of any errors, because as you notice, the 1, if I just click on it again, the 1 actually still shows. So I'm going to have to hide it there and then show it. And already you've got a little animation there, which I quite like. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say, right, what should we do with the cat? So let's do a similar thing. So we'll say when we start, I tell you what, let's do it slightly differently. Let's say when the cat is clicked, it'll move instead of when we click on the green flag. So when we want the cat to actually start here, and then we're going to just get it to move a little bit there, and then it's going to sort of jump up. Oh, I think that's because I've clicked on it. Yeah, so I've got to get rid of that while I'm programming it. That's quite interesting. I don't know if you noticed, but because I'm moving it, it thinks I want it to run the program, and I don't want it to run the program yet. So I'm going to have to just gently take that off. Can you see I've separated those? And then I'm going to sort of make it go up there. and then come down. Almost as if it's jumping. Now, you're going to have a lot more time than I've got, so you can really take your time, and then you can test it, and then you can edit the numbers as well. So let's just make it full screen and show you. So at the beginning, those happen. Now notice that we've got an error there, so I'm just going to debug it. So that looks all right. It's just that the cat has got to go back to the beginning when the program starts. So think about how that might happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to say, at the start of the program, I want the cat to be over here. So again, I've got a problem because I clicked on it when I moved it. So I'm just going to separate that while I do my programming. But that's quite interesting that's happened, because that might happen to you. So I might as well actually show you, and then you can realize why it might happen to you. So let's just test it. Then I click on the cat moves, and then it jumps up and down. Now, one thing that I've noticed is the cat goes very slowly. And the nice thing about Scratch is you can edit all these. So let's just try that one. So we could make it half a second. So that means it's going to go more quickly. So it's a little bit fiddly because you're going to obviously type these in individually. But once you get used to it, it's fine. So let's just test that now. So I'll click on the cat. Go slow to start with, and then it should whiz. That's much better. So I would suggest you change those variables, and it doesn't have to be 0.5, it can be 0.25. So have fun and enjoy creating some number-based animations.